So thanks for joining How AI is Reshaping the Future of Lifestyle panel discussion. I'm Cerin Yip, the director at Alibaba Group, and I'm the moderator. And I'm here to introduce our two guest speakers today. First, Mei Mei Song, Chief Transformation Officer at Plaza Premium Group. And also Ms. Venetia Lee, CEO at Alipay Hong Kong and General Manager and International Greater China. So great to be with you.
Thank you for
Venetia,
having
Mei Mei.
us.
Thank you.
Also, thanks for joining us. So the very first question is to Mei Mei. Could you share a brief overview of Plaza Premium Group and your role at PPG?
So thank you for having me. So Plaza Premium Group, we started with an airport lounge concept. We founded the world's first airport independent lounge. From there, we had observed that there is a needs gap, an inefficient gap, whereas someone takes care of you in the sky and someone takes care of you in your hotel when you travel. But in the airport, everyone has a horror story. They're like, oh, I've lost my bag, or it's super inconvenient. So what we identified was, hey, there's a whole end-to-end experience. So what we have is airport lounge, we have airport hotels, we have airport passenger services, and then we also have F&B. And what makes Plaza Premium Group quite very unique is that we can take care of someone from arrival to departure to transit to arrival. So our focus, as my focus, is really growing the company and transforming it and preparing it for the future. We're in a very unique position where we can take care of our consumers from end to end, and I don't think any other company can do so.
Yeah, so I think the keyword here is end to end, and I
Yes.
would definitely ask you more about how you transform the group later. So Venetia, can you give us an overview of Alipay Hong Kong and your role, please?
Sure. So I'm currently running Alipay Hong Kong. It's a digital wallet here for Hong Kong users. So we currently have more than 4.5 million active users. So the most popular digital wallet here. So along the way, we have evolved from a digital payment only to becoming more of a lifestyle super app. So other than payments where you can pay at more than 150,000 merchants here in Hong Kong. You can also pay at more than 60 plus countries and regions across the world. Online, offline, transit. And also lately we've also started two other pillars of our business where through Lifestyle Super App platform, we have more than 200 mini programs currently on board on our platform. So users can pay your bills, right? Hail a taxi, book buy movie tickets, and different type of lifestyle services you can enjoy directly through our super app. Third and pillar that we also started our journey last year is to evolve into a wallet bank. So we work very closely with a lot of financial institutions, and namely also one of our own, N-Bank, a licensed digital bank here in Hong Kong. So to create a seamless wallet bank experience where your balance could earn interest every day. And you can also purchase financial products with just as low as even $1. So that's what our business is about, and we'll continue to work on these three pillar type of business.
Yeah, thanks for introducing the business. And I think now it's back to the buzzword today, AI. So I think all of us agree that AI is like really revolutionizing how we shop, how we travel, and even our daily experience have been changing quite a lot. So I think it would be really interesting to see like AI in your company. So Mei Mei, as introduced by you earlier, is we know that Plaza Premium Group is the pioneer in airport hospitality, right? So today your group does much more than running airport lounges. Can you share with us how Plaza Premium Group makes every journey of your travelers more comfortable, convenient, secure, and enjoyable?
Yeah, definitely. So as I mentioned earlier, I think one of the key things is we've got 600 international airports, and travel is there's that many airports, that many travel journeys, and for us, personalization is very important. I think a good example is myself when I travel. How I travel with my children, myself, with work, girl with girlfriends. It's very, very different, right? So personalizing the travel, making travel better from an end-to-end experience is our key focus. Every airport is very different. I think as everyone knows, there's big airports, small airports. There's airports where the journey is very fast. There's airports where you have to line up, the different flight times. So what we do is we understand the passenger, we understand the airport in a lot of detail. We understand the travel behavior, and through observation, through our data analysis, through working with partners, whether it's our financial institutions, whether it's working together with our airlines, we understand the travel behavior and work together with the airport to create these end-to-end experiences.
So it's about the uniqueness, right, for the airport and also individual travelers. And I'm not sure how many of you have been to the intervals here. I'm a big fan of it. I really like the cocktail there. So if you haven't been there, you should definitely go.
Thank you for the PR plug.
And for Venetia, of course, I'm a big supporter, big user. I use Alipay Hong Kong every day, several times a day at least. So I understand that Alipay Hong Kong is much more than, as you mentioned earlier, it's not just a digital wallet provider. And can you tell us more about the lifestyle gateway beyond payment concept of Alipay Hong Kong?
Sure. So beyond payments, right? So as I mentioned earlier, so we have started our route on the digital lifestyle ecosystem and platform, where we work very closely with various different industry partners to onboard their services on our platform. So to help bridge the gap of consumers and the merchants, right? For example, on our platform, you can easily hail a car, a taxi, whether you're here in Hong Kong or mainland China. So you can directly pay all your utility bills through our platform. Buy movie tickets, whether you're buying tickets here in Hong Kong or in the Greater Bay Area. And, you can select your movies, buy your tickets, pick a time, and then have the tickets directly provisioned onto the digital wallet. No need to download separate app to retrieve your tickets physically. So those are some of the examples, right? And then, the finance world for the digital wallet bank, right? So we have connect more of the consumers and make it easier to enjoy financial services. And then I think overall, so we have payments, lifestyle, and banking. But more how we are also helping to service and serve our customers better. So we try to also deploy, more of a targeted engine, and then lately introduce some of the AI tools, which I believe we're going to mention in our next session.
Yes. Thank you. So Alipay, I think for those who are from Hong Kong, we will agree that it's actually make our life much more convenient. And earlier when I talked to a lot of the attendees here, they're planning to go to Shenzhen or other parts in Greater China. So please download Alipay Hong Kong before you go. It will make your life really much easier there. So I think we all agree that AI rapidly transform how we work, travel, live. And I think maybe let's discuss how AI really impacts your company. So Mei Mei, tourism, hospitality, I think is really undergoing a digital transformation with the integration of AI. So how is AI shaping their travel experience, and how's the industry? And especially, how does Plaza Premium Group deliver it?
Venetia, I just want to point out this morning, I just told my friend to download Alipay Hong Kong because she was going to Shenzhen. So to your point, she's like, how do I pay? And I was like, Alipay, why do you not have it? But you know what? For me, I think AI is a big word, right? But there's AI producers, and then there's also AI consumers. And for us, we are a AI consumer. So what we do is, our commitment is making travel better, and we use AI, we work with different technologies to make the travel experience better. Our focus in Plaza Premium Group is twofold with our application with AI. One is operational, like how do I drive better efficiency within the company using AI? What gaps do I see? How do we do things faster? So we study where the efficiency gaps are, and then we use AI to integrate it in. On the other side, we also use it to enhance the customer experience. I think through personalization, through understanding the data, through the observations we use in AI. So later on I can elaborate, but we use, for example, we use it to understand, like we use our CCTV, we use it to analyze our data. Through that, we can produce better products, better experiences. So for PPG, we apply AI for both internally and externally.
Yeah, so sounds like because you have good data, so you can really make use of AI in a much more efficient way and execute it well. So for Alipay Hong Kong, as what Venetia mentioned earlier, is a AI super app, basically covering life in the Greater Bay Area. So how does Alipay Hong Kong leveraging AI to enhance your users' daily lifestyles?
So we started off using a lot of AI technologies, I would say, back last year. So the way we're utilizing, of course, continue to evolve, right? Last year, powered by a lot of international AI technology, we focused on a few areas, right? First is on customer service, right? So I think utilizing AI, we can help with the operational efficiency, to serve our customers better with quicker response time. So now 20% of our customer inquiries are resolved through AI. No need of human agents, right? So the second area that we also started deploying is on helping with development, technology development. So some of the simpler programming tasks, we're now leveraging AI. So I'd say around 15% of our software development is done by AI now. So that releases a lot of capacity, and more importantly, helps to give us the bandwidth to iterate our product much faster at a lower cost. Third is on risk model, risk management. So we're leveraging AI to do a lot of these fraud graphs, plotting, and then automatic scanning of various different mini-crimes running on platform rigorously to detect fraud. So we also were able to leverage AI technology to reduce these frauds by about 20%. So those are some of the key areas that we've been utilizing AI in 2024, starting and then continue to improve. And then this year, so this year we're also starting moving towards a Gen AI and then into the customer interface, right? So about a month or so ago, so we released our first customer-facing AI agent. So it's still through search first, right? We are using our proprietary model called Cockpit, but it's actually integrating various different OpenAI platform, like the Gemini, the ChatGPT, and DeepSeek, to help our customers, right, for a lot of these general inquiries. So if you guys have Alipay Hong Kong, you can try now. Through search, we can, through the AI agent, ask the search, right? So I think those are how we have been evolving and utilizing AI.
Yeah, so we can clearly tell that both Plaza Premium Group and Alipay Hong Kong have used a lot of AI in the operation. So can you share with us an AI-driven innovation in your company that excites you the most? So Mei Mei, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I think I have to say, they're internally and externally, all of them really excite me because AI has really helped us resolve problems. And I think a part of the nature of our companies, we're obsessed with resolving pain points and inefficiency gaps so that we can make travel better. So I think a good example is we also run the wheelchair service. So we run the wheelchair service in the airport, right? So just to kind of give everyone context, that's about 2,000 pickups a day. 2,000 pickups a day. So that means how many agents do we need? Roughly maybe 400 agents because they do 4 pickups. But think about the airport and how big the airport is, right? So how do you make sure, you don't know when planes land, at which gate. Sometimes it may change, maybe it's delayed. So what we've done is we're actually working with AI to also understand where all the planes are, where they're going to land, and then deploy our agents to go and find the guests. But the thing is, the airport's massive, right? So there's a lot of inefficiency, a lot of the time spent going from one spot to the other. So for us to be able to identify that and then deploy, I can tell you today our advocacy now is 99%. right? And I think
enhancement.
before we were previously when we first started and the airport told us what the previous company was doing, they were talking about 70%, meaning when a airplane landed, they weren't sure, like there was a small chance that there was no wheelchair available. So I think that is something operationally we see that AI has really helped us. On the other hand, we have also been using a lot of heat mapping. So within our lounges, right? So in the airport, as you all know, there's busy times and times where traffic isn't very high. That's just the nature of the airports. You're able to see, from predictive learning, you can see, okay, what are the habits? What are the trends? What is the passenger flow? Are people coming there? And for us to better understand that and then do our planning. So our resource planning is we're able to look at our manpower and go, okay, well, this is how we deploy our manpower. We also have an agent. So we're launching this first agent actually in Saudi Arabia. Her name is Noura. So Noura is helping. She is our digital human. And we use AI to be able to tell people where wayfinding, how to connect to their FIDS, where their flight is, how to get to the gate. So, you're anxious, right? When you're in a lounge, you're like, okay, how far am I from the gate? Is it my plane boarding delayed? So we've integrated the digital human as a part of it. And then I think lastly, another part we've really seen is we understand the consumer behavior because we've been studying the consumer behavior, and then therefore we're able to push services. As I mentioned, we travel with different needs, but as I better understand the frequency of your travel, as I understand why you're traveling, as I understand your behavior, I'm able to also push services. So it's something as simple as we actually started pushing, like working with partners on selling power banks, selling certain services, extra tickets, because people signal to us, we understand your interests, and then we can push services and experiences that would cater to our guests, and they want. So we see even an increase of revenue because of that.
Yeah, I like the idea that for AI agent, it's not gender neutral, it's a female. You mentioned that.
Yeah. And each one is, we look at each country and we have a specific name for each one to make sure it's culturally appropriate.
Yeah, that's great. So, Venetia, what's your most AI exciting moment?
I'd say I think it's still a beginning of our journey. Really, still beginning. So I think talking about our agent is really the first version only, right? We're still sort of learning how this works, right? But I think right now we only have launched a general agent. So it's but I was quite excited. Yesterday I was testing. I asked on Alipay Hong Kong general agent versus the DeepSeek, right? And I find, in quite a number of areas, in, different topics, the answer was even more well structured and more in depth, right? So I was like, I think my tech team did a good job. So I think the learnings or how we've been sort of continue to test and run is because right now on our general agent, I think it's important to sort of select the special areas that we're going to have to beef up the content. I think whether the AI is being helpful on being able to provide, sort of unique type of advisory, it also depends on the content quality and the comprehensiveness, right? So I think, so we are now having, for example, one of the areas that we're trying to focus a bit more into the content development is on financial services, right? So we have to work on more of the content provisioning. We work at Bloomberg, right, to subscribe all of these kind of in-depth content. Otherwise, it's junk in, junk out, right? So I think it's the content area that we have to beef up into the category industry. So financial services is one. The other that we'll be investing more is to the lifestyle, maybe even traveling back to Greater Bay Area, right? What do you do? What do you eat, right? So we'll have to specialize in these kind of content. And second is training the program, training the AI. So we have probably thousands of the modeling and training, the chain of thoughts that we've been programming. But it's continuous training. So right now, rather than our engineer and our business team trying to train, moving forward, we also want to get more of our user feedback, right? So for every answers, we collect user sort of likes, dislike to hopefully feed into the model to beef up the accuracy and the usage. So I think these are things that we're working towards. So hopefully in the last half of this year, we'll continue to release more and more specialized agents. So you'll see more than just a general agent. So fully in our financial services, you'll see a more of a financial advisor, right? In our lifestyle services, you'll see a more of a fun travel agent type of agent. So to better serve our users' needs in the different pillars.
I think we are all learning how to use AI in a more efficient way, and obviously there's a lot of cooperation and collaboration among different companies. So we talk about like application maybe in your company. Now maybe let's move on to talk a bit more about future, especially impact on your industry. So like Mei Mei, you mentioned earlier, travelers today expect hyper-personalization. So can you elaborate more, how can AI take personalization in travel experience maybe to the next level?
Yeah, so I think we have, we have an application called Smart Traveler, right? And Smart Traveler is basically our app where we've basically amalgamated all the airport services onto one app. And it's not been done before because there you can book the multiple airport hospitality services, and from your consumption, from your travel behavior, from us studying which areas of the lounge or what services you're using, we can there push the services that we think you have. So as I mentioned, what we're doing is beyond airport hospitality service. We're delivering a service. Now we're working with, it's Art Month, and we're very active in art because we're working with art galleries. We're working with ticketing companies because they're like, hey, I think your consumers your consumers would be interested in our product, and we have the data and the information to do so. So it's it's like a travel lifestyle, and this is something we are doing very carefully. And also, I think just to your point, like we also use content. So we use AI to develop our content, even to an extent. Actually, our latest marketing campaign is done by AI. When our head of marketing said that to me, I'm like, okay, are you sure? Okay, let me have a look at this. But the thing is, the key is the prompting. The key is prompting it. The key is shaping it. It's really how you prompt and training it. And our next campaign that launches next week is all done via AI. And this is something we've been able to personalize and create marketing campaigns targeted to our consumers.
That's amazing. So for Alipay Hong Kong Financial, then we all know that consumer behaviors are changing so fast, right? So what role will AI play in shaping how we shop, pay, or interact with brands in the near future?
So I think AI would make a lot of information advisory much more accessible. That's for one. The goal of our wallet is to serve everyone, right? Give people easy access and everything at your fingertips, right? So no matter it's financial services, lifestyle services, payment, so it's easy and everywhere, right? So I think AI would help to live up that kind of objective. But I think for AI, we also have to be cautious and careful. I think one area that we continue to need to monitor and work on is on a lot of these data security, compliance, ethical issues, right? Because sometimes when you're like in a model, you ask things and recommendation. These are things that could be sensitive. When with human being, there's always judgment you can apply. But when it's a model and an AI, then we have to really program it very well. So I think that's the area that we will be paying a lot of attention. So we have a lot of these data privacy and rules and things that we feed into the model, but we need to continue to monitor, scrutinize, and then beef it up, right? So I think those are some of the things we need to work on.
That's great. I think we only have time for one last question, and I think it's like asking for advice. Can you give a piece of advice to business looking to integrate AI into their services? Maybe first?
I think that I think that what's really important, I think there are a few things, right? I think number one is human capital, right? I mean, now AI has the ability to run a lot of efficiencies. I mean, even I'm sure all of you get emails and it's drafted perfect English, and you're like, this is definitely done by AI. But what's really important is how do you train your human capital? You're not going to be like, oh, we don't. How do you retrain your human capital to adopt the AI and the technology and use it? So, we've like what probably took us 24 hours, now we can do in 2 hours. But how do you retrain the people that have been supporting you, working with you, to understand then how to drive efficiencies, better use their time, analyze the data that they receive? I think this is really, really important. I think there's like the conversation's too casual. Everyone's like, oh yeah, AI can do it, but there's still a human element of thinking, considering, strategizing. I think that's a big part of a consideration.
That's good. That means we still have jobs.
It's very, very similar as Mei Mei. I think AI is very good in helping us to solve a lot of these main problems and help serve our customer better, but it cannot replace human. At the end, our customers are all human beings, right? So we have to really connect with humans, people, our customers, understand what they want and what they feel, and we have to continue to add those elements of personal touch, not just the machine talking.
Thanks a lot. As a pre that we're running out of time, I still have a lot of questions to ask. So once again, thanks a lot for sharing with us, and I think we all love your stories and the insight. Thanks so much.